What's going on, everybody? LK here, and today, well, welcome to Street Fighter 6. So with Street Fighter 6 is basically a new beginning for fighting games, like a new generation of fighting games, and today I want to talk about how to pick a character in Street Fighter 6, or really any fighting game you might want to try in case you try to pick up another one after Street Fighter 6. So I've personally played many fighting games in my experience, and over the years I've made a small checklist of steps that I use to actually pick a character. I actually don't usually watch character overviews or anything. This list has helped me a ton, and I've shared it a few times before, so I figured now would be a good time to share it again. So the first one, and it should kind of go without saying, by far the easiest advice of how to pick a character, especially if you have like no goals or dreams or aspirations of playing on the big stage, is really just pick the character you like. It takes the least amount of time. The character select is right here, so I can scroll through the characters and look like Blanca, like obviously I'm definitely not a Blanca guy, right? DJ looks kind of cool to me this time. Jury, not really my taste. JP, and I guess if you have watched me for a while, then it might be a surprise, but if you've really followed me in fighting games for a long time, it wouldn't be. I actually think this character is pretty cool, and I'm kind of interested in trying him out. And this is a character most people are expecting me to pick, is Manon, so you can just casually scroll through the character select screen and just make a choice. If you like to horny pick your waifu or husbando character, do that. That's fine. If you want to hug that character because you think they're very cute, that's fine too. If you think a certain character is really cool or something, again, that's totally fine. The reason why people repeat this advice so much is it really is just the fastest way to pick a character. It's especially good advice in modern fighting games because over the years, maybe some of y'all have played games like Smash or stuff in the past, but fighting game developers have done a much better job as time has gone on of making sure all the characters are able to run like some sort of effective game plan where they're strong. So there's no more like, oh, this character definitely sucks, you're wasting your time type of thing. And it's really not something you should be thinking about unless you have competitive aspirations. You can use this method to pick a character in any fighting game besides team games. Team games, you actually need kind of a plan to build a team to actually use to make sure that you can have fun playing the game. But for a 1v1 game, this is by far the easiest way. Step number 2, if for some reason either there's too many characters that you like, too many characters you think are cool or cute or whatever, or you just kind of can't pick one just on looks for whatever reason, next I would go to try to find a character with a playstyle that appeals to you. And the good news is that Street Fighter 6, and honestly a bunch of modern fighting games in general, so like the game I'm maining right now is Guilty Gear Strive, they do this too. Each character gives a little overview on the character select screen of what you can expect. So for example, we have Luke here. They have his effective range there clearly stated for you. For Street Fighter, it's really important because it's not a movement game. It's more of a slow game, where a game like Super Smash Bros. Melee might have the Fox only Final Destination type meme. If there's any meme about Street Fighter, it's probably two people walking back and forth, not really doing anything. Just the nature of what people tend to see without knowing what's going on, right? Nothing against someone who's new to the game. So the really nice thing about this character select is everyone's effective range is here. So let's say I want to play like Honda, wink wink, I actually do want to try Honda, very unusual choice for me, but I'm trying to do something new, right? So they have his type, power, okay, my assumption is he's going to do a lot of damage. They have his effective range, which is mid-range, so not too close, not too far. And then they also have his difficulty there, based on probably their own play testing, which is normal, so like a pretty standard level of difficulty. This game also has characters that play at long range, like JP, or a more close range focused character like Cammy. If for some reason Street Fighter is your first fighting game, so you haven't even played like a platform fighter like Smash Bros or something, then it would be a pretty good idea to check out the character guides. This is something that also modern fighting games are doing a really good job with too. Guilty Gear Strive has this as well in their mission mode, just little overviews on how the character works. So again, if you don't really like a character just based on their appearance, I mean, to be honest, if you like a character based on their experience and you want to try them, you can also come here. But if you can't kind of settle on one, you can try a bunch here and just see who feels interesting based on how the game explains it to you. Okay, so you couldn't pick a character based on aesthetics alone, and you can't really settle on a playstyle that you like necessarily. You don't know if you're in brawler, you don't know if you're a zoner, you don't know if you're a mid-range type of player. So now what do you do? This is kind of the spot. Some people call this a character crisis where you can't figure out who to play really, but honestly, I feel like a character crisis is when you've been playing one character for a long time and you're like, for lack of a better word, dooming over how bad your character is. Instead, you might just be like a little indecisive. I don't really know. So usually when people are at this point, I'm like, listen, homie, pick an easy character. Pick an easy character then. If you can't settle quickly, at least pick an easy character so that the skill floor is low and you can just hop in and play some games and see if you even like the game in the first place. Fighting games are actually more like RPGs than you would realize, but the main thing is like you, not the character. You are the person that's leveling up. The character is, for lack of a better word, static. Like, no matter how good you are, whether you're like a world champion or a beginner, the character has the same tools no matter what skill level the person is playing at. So picking an easy character, or at least a character with a fundamental set of tools, will help you just get in so that you can start leveling up at the game if you end up enjoying it. So what do I mean by easy and fundamental? This might be two different things. So what I mean by easy or fundamental is that they actually are two different things. So if there's any character that's going to be definitely the fundamental character, it is Ryu. And fundamental being that if you play Ryu, you will learn how to play the game in general. This actually exists in a lot of fighting games where the protagonist characters tend to have a good balanced toolkit of the same type of tools, like one projectile, an invincible move, some good pokes, relatively easy combos, nothing too tricky unless you really want to dig into the character. That being said though, don't fall for the meme of pick Ryu or Ken first so that you can learn the game and then find a character that you like, because then you're kind of wasting your time. What if you don't like Ryu? What if you don't think he's huggable? You know, your motivation to play the game will be lower playing a character you don't really care about compared to a character that you either are invested in or you're a fan of or something like that. Easy could be something where a character has a pretty simple game plan or some cheese. There's nothing wrong with that if you want to just hop into the game, especially since you're on step 3, so you're having problems picking a character. So again, anything that just gets you playing the game is fine. Okay, so now you neither can find a character you like based off aesthetics, nor can you really decide on a playstyle that you like, but you don't really want to play a normal character or like an easy character. So now what do? I still have a recommendation for you. for you very specific type of person. In recent years, I have created this theory of picking characters that I've been calling the 3 character theory. Wow, so revolutionary. So what is my brilliant 3 character theory? So the idea is you pick one fundamental character, one zoning character, and one fast character, and you just play all 3 and you learn all 3, and eventually you'll pick one that you like the most to put the most time into. This helps you be a little bit more focused with your picks. It's 3 different distinct playstyles, and again, the nice thing about this game is they just tell you the type. In this case, the fundamental character would be like a standard style character like Luke. I mentioned speed characters before, so I mentioned like Cammy for example, right? But there's also Jury as an option here. And as for zoners, it's Street Fighter, so there are plenty, right? So the main one here would be Guile. Now, for the 3 character theory, I kind of advise picking like harder or weirder or tricky characters. So one thing that's kind of interesting about this game is that the long range characters have been marked as hard or tricky characters. So for example, Dhalsim is traditionally like a long range character. He has very long pokes, he has long fireballs, but he also over time has gotten like teleports and all sorts of tricky setups. He does have that zoner aspect to him, but if you're new to the game, if you liked him or were interested in him, you would just try him. But you're so deep into this step of picking characters, and you know, not everybody likes the Yoga Master, right? That you wouldn't pick him for this kind of open-ended, I just want to make sure I have something that I could play the game with. Alright, so now, you neither could pick a character based on the way they look, nor could you really settle on a playstyle that you liked. You don't want to just pick an easy character though, and you're sort of not open to trying 3 characters with different playstyles at the same time. So now you have to sit and ask yourself, and this is real talk. Why are you playing the game? Why are you playing this game? Why did you spend money on this game? Did someone let you borrow this game? Like, what are you doing? Right? What is the point? Like, why would you buy a game where you don't like any of the characters and you don't like the way anything plays? Right? I don't know. I don't have that answer for you. If you get this far, and for some, maybe you're playing with friends, maybe you have a bet. I don't know why. At this point, go on the internet, go on google.com and type in what character is good in Street Fighter 6. There's probably a tier list, and just pick that character and just play the game and stop wasting your time. Before this game came out, there was a version of this game in beta where people said Guile was extremely strong. So if you went through all of this and you still couldn't pick a character, I would say pick Guile and stop wasting your time, because you're going to go in circles and be really mad at the game, and that is fun for nobody. Now, if you're a competitive minded player watching this and you went all the way down here, one, I mean, you already know you should just pick a top tier, man. Like, if you went through all that, you should really just pick a top tier, and you should probably manage your expectations about how well you're going to do in the game, because don't have a character that you like, you're not going to be motivated to play this game. So yeah, that's usually the list that I use to help me pick a character. So for the most part, you know, I pick a lot of waifu characters. I'm pretty famous for picking like waifu characters and stuff over the years, but characters that are also pretty strong. So specifically in this game, I am actually trying to use the 3 character theory. I'm really trying to actually try characters that I would normally just ignore, because since we talked about expectations in the game, right? I'm not planning on competing in this game. I'm kind of just playing this game for fun. So rather than just simply going for the type of characters I would pick normally, so based on appearance, I'd pick characters like Manon, Cammy, JP, or Chun-Li, who I played in the beta. I decided to go a little bit outside the box with my picks this time, just to try stuff that I haven't really done before. In Guilty Gear Strive, I played like a lot of characters. I at least tried like 13 or 14 characters that I dislike. I've played, like, I don't like Faust, I played him. I usually don't play like puppet characters, so characters that there's one main character and you control like a either animal or friend or demon or something. There's a character named Zato in Guilty Gear that does that. I played him. So in this game, I want to try, like, for example, Honda. There is no world where people expect me to play Honda, but I actually am pretty interested in trying him out. I'm thinking about trying out Lily. I saw some stuff with her that I thought was at least interesting, and it's a playstyle I don't usually play, which is kind of nice. And funny enough, the American hero Guile, because I usually don't play like zoners, like long range characters. I usually play like mid range characters or like fast characters or tricky characters. I usually don't play pure long range characters. So since I'm not planning on playing this game like super sweaty, you know, I'm just trying out different stuff. So yeah, hopefully that helped. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it. I do have a Patreon where I do like viewer requests if you're interested in that, and some other stuff over there. That's over at www.patreon.com/LordKnight. We got the Insta too. I just take pictures. I don't know if you're interested in that, but that exists. That's at LordKnight FGC. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.